Arsenal's Premier League title bid took a hit at the weekend with another draw, but their European campaign is well on track. They're in training ahead of hosting Monaco tomorrow, and Dharmesh Sheth is there for us. Afternoon, Dharmesh. Let's start with who's available. What have you gleaned there? Will Arteta have more defensive options to call on tomorrow?
Yeah, going into this game, the issues have been the defenders and the number of defenders that Mikel Arteta will have available for this game. Aside of the longer-term absentees in Ben White and Takahiro Tomiyasu, Arsenal in recent games have been missing a number of other players as well. If I just step out the way, they are out there training now ahead of this game against Monaco. And I mentioned a couple of the other players that have been missing in the past couple of games, and that is Gabriel and Riccardo Calafiori. They both missed the Manchester United victory and the draw against Fulham on Sunday, and Oleksandr Zinchenko came off in that game against Manchester United and then missed the game against Fulham. I can tell you that all three of them are not out there training at the moment. This is the open training side of the session that we get to film. I'm told that they're following their own individual training programs. You'll remember that Mikel Arteta, the Arsenal manager, had said with regard to those three players that, look, they've got a chance of being available for the Sunday game. They weren't there then, of course. They'll be in contention for Wednesday, but that will really depend on the physios and the doctors. Another player who isn't out there at the moment is Jurrien Timber. Now, I'm just being told that he might be following an individual training program as well. We'll be getting more of an update from these injuries and who's available for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal ahead of this game when he holds his news conference a little bit later on. But the Arsenal players are out there training now, and those three players that we were mentioning going into this game in Gabriel, Riccardo Calafiori and Oleksandr Zinchenko are not in this open training session. They're following their own individual training programme.
It feels like a significant one, doesn't it? Arsenal in a decent position in the Champions League after the big win against Sporting, but still work to do, Dharmesh. Where do they stand?
Yeah, I mean, this new Champions League format, the top 8 in this 32-team Champions League group automatically qualify for the round of 16. Arsenal currently in 7th position with 10 points from their opening 5 games. Victory tomorrow night would put them within touching distance, you'd think, of those knockout stages. Won't be easy though, because Monaco are just a place below them and are only separated by goal difference at the moment. They're in 8th position, occupying that final automatic qualifying place, and they're also 3rd in Ligue 1, just 5 points off the top, being set by the pace being set, of course, there by Paris Saint-Germain. But if Arsenal fans had any worries about whether they were going to qualify for the knockout stages or indeed the playoffs of this tournament, then I think the Opta supercomputer might lay a few of their issues to bed, because it gives Arsenal a 74% chance of finishing in the top 8 places and a 100% chance of finishing in the top 24. So they are guaranteed, according to the Opta supercomputer, of at least a playoff place in the Champions League and a very likely spot in that all-important top 8. The chances of not qualifying at all, 0%. But this, as is with many other clubs around the country, a very, very busy period for Arsenal. This is game number 6 of 10 in the space of 34 days, and it's the first of 3 home games for Arsenal in 7 days in 3 different competitions. It's Monaco tomorrow night at the Emirates, and then at the weekend they play Everton in the Premier League, and then it's the EFL Cup quarter-final against Crystal Palace next week. One potential advantage though, the quirks of the fixture list and the draw for the FA Cup means that Arsenal, between now and January the 22nd, will leave London once. That's right, just once, and that's not far either. It's just a trip to Brighton in the Premier League. So just a reminder, the early team news, we'll get more from that team news from Mikel Arteta a little bit later on, but Gabriel, Riccardo Calafiori, Oleksandr Zinchenko and Jurrien Timber, we think, are just following an individual training programme, and we'll find out if they're in contention for this game against Monaco in the Champions League tomorrow night. The captain, Martin Odegaard, and the manager, Mikel Arteta, will be addressing the media at around 3:30 this afternoon, and you can catch that live right here on Sky Sports News.